Now here I am with James from Nimlok. Well, I was with James. James, are you with me or not?
I am indeed.
Hello, how are you doing, sir?
Very well, yes. You?
I'm very well, thank you. Now tell me a bit about Nimlok and what you guys are doing here today.
Well, Nimlok's a very long-standing exhibition and display business, but they're here today particularly putting a focus on an offering that we've been building over the last few years, which is a hire offering. Right. So uniquely for exhibitors, what we're saying to them is actually you don't need to make this huge investment in owning a stand or having something completely sort of started from scratch for you. We've got this amazing inventory of hire architecture that we can customize them with some bespoke graphics and features to deliver an amazing stand at a very sensible sort of price point for people. So what we're doing today is we're really showcasing some of the architectural features, the angled sections, pelmets, counters, those sorts of things that we can pull together. We've got some portfolio running on the screens, and really just to give people a flavour of what we can do for them on a hire basis. And that's a relatively new concept for people. People think of hire as being standard off-the-shelf kind of stuff, but with Nimlok it's not. We start from scratch with that design process, but we're just not, a lot of the materials are coming from our hire inventory.
So it's still quite bespoke, I guess. They can have exactly what they want.
Yeah, absolutely. We still start and go through that whole design process. So today we're hoping to find marketeers with up-and-coming sort of projects that they want to talk to us about, and we wanted to put on a good example of how to do it. The other thing we're featuring today is we have our sister agency that we work very closely with that helps us deliver not only an architectural solution for our clients, but in particular to help them with ideas like digital engagement devices, so interactive games, quizzes, surveys, additional tools to help their sales team stop people in the aisles and gather those leads and opportunities.
Can you show me a bit around your stand and what you've got going on, including the game?
I can, although we're just resetting the game, so timing's terrible as ever. So yes, over here on the screen, we're highlighting some of the digital engagement systems that we've created for people. Most of these involve a competition, data capture, and then some sort of branded interactive content that links to the message. So Nimlok's own one on the front of the stand today is a shooting range where you're knocking out the traditional problems of stand ownership, so logistical costs, long-term investment, and being locked into a solution. And we're saying with hire, you eliminate all those things, you can do something every time, and it's a very cost-effective way of putting on a great show. Here we've got some nice examples of portfolio and just some little custom touches to show that, again, our hire solutions are blended with our hire inventory and unique components for the client. So some nice architectural features here, and then again more portfolio.
What makes you different? What makes Nimlok different from, for example, another company that was doing a similar thing? Why are you guys so good at this?
It's a very good question. There's hundreds and hundreds of stand contractors out there. We think it's a combination of things. We think it's the fact that we've got some very unique hire inventory and modular ways of building things. We think we add a huge amount of creative value through a consultative process where we understand why clients are going to shows and really tap into that and help think about the stand not just as a 3D expression of their brand, but how it's actually going to work for their sales team. And I think that's really important. And our sales team are here today practicing what they preach. And then the unique combination with our sister agency where we're able to take that to another level in terms of not only the architectural solution, but the graphic message, the campaign around the show, and obviously the interactive content to help drive opportunities off the stand.
So why should people come over to your stand? What can they expect today?
We think today they can come over and get some fantastic ideas. They can see things actually in practice. Exhibitions are a wonderful thing for people to sort of, touch and feel and get involved, so they can come and see a great example rather than just pictures in a brochure. We've got an amazing competition running, which I think we're going to have a chat about later. So to highlight hire, what we thought we'd do today is give away a prestige sports car, because everyone's aware you can hire those. Well, we're saying, drive the stand of your dreams, not the stand of your budget, and we're giving away an amazing Porsche for a weekend. So hopefully that'll draw people to the show as well.
Amazing. And why are shows like this so important for people like yourself?
Well, it's practice what we preach. We're obviously passionate believers that exhibitions are a fantastic medium for people to do business. We're very aware that digital is making a huge march in terms of marketing terms, but I actually think the two pair really well together, and that events are just as important as digital marketing for people. So for us, it's practice what we preach. It's gather great leads. Last year from this, we picked up a great new client, £90,000 project. So we can show tangible results from exhibiting, and obviously that's what we want our clients to be able to do.
And why Confex in particular?
Well, yeah, there are two big shows really that service this industry, Confex and Marketing Week Live. Confex has got great heritage, and I think for this year it was about the fact that the organisers were putting a bit more effort back into the exhibiting section. So, there's more of our competitors here, and I could see that as a threat, but actually I think it's great because we want to draw those marketeers in here to talk about exhibiting, see lots of examples, get excited about ideas. So yeah, that's Confex for me really. We have another proposition today for conference organisers, so if we can come over here.
Yeah, let's have a little look over here, because you've got sort of an adjoining stand, if you like. Now tell me a bit more about this then, James.
Well, this is very relevant for Confex because this is targeted at conference organisers. And what we find is that a lot of conferences have a certain amount of sponsors that would like a small exhibition. So they quite often have mini exhibitions around their sort of coffee breakout areas and those sorts of things. Now traditionally the approach has been that the sponsor brings along a pop-up or a banner, and the sponsor finds that pretty tiresome and a lot of hassle with logistics and getting that sorted out for perhaps only a small one-day event. From the organiser's perspective, they get involved with each of their sponsors' requirements for their stands, and the exhibition's not their main revenue source, it's the conference. So sometimes they're a little bit hesitant or concerned about running a mini exhibition. So what we said was, could we, using our amazing hire inventory, could we deliver an alternative way of doing things? And what we came up with is a prescribed stand package where the organiser basically gives a stand to each of their sponsors, and it's basically hired, printed and installed for £550. And when we did our research about what sponsors were spending, getting pop-ups and banners there, getting there early, their time, it was a fantastic deal for them. So for organisers, we're saying, you know what, don't be afraid of adding that mini exhibition to your show. It's a great additional revenue stream, and we can make it really painless for both you and your sponsors. For our sponsors, for their sponsors, we're saying, this is going to make life easier. So we think it's a win-win for both organisers and sponsors. So today we've got one of the stands on show, and then we've got a little promotional video hit round here where one of the things we're trying to encourage people to do is not to use traditional shell scheme. So we thought we'd have a bit of fun with that recently, and you're about to see here a Russian tank running over a shell scheme.
Oh my goodness, look at that. It actually, luckily they ran quickly, wasn't it?
It was indeed. So it's amazing the things you have to do to promote your business, but we're having a lot of fun here with this, and again, last year was a very good show for us here.
Well, hopefully this show will be just as good for you, James. Thank you very much for showing me around your stand. Where can people find you, just quickly?
So where can people find us? Well, we've got both the stands here, so we're right by entrance S8, and then they'll also find a car over by the seminar areas, and we've got someone over there steering people our way too.
Perfect. We're going to have a little look at that later, the car, and hopefully I'll come back and play the game as well.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much for chatting to me.